What's going on, B-More? Isupkbmore history class. Clap it up, y'all. We're going to get into it tonight. Isupk, of course, coming out of 1 West, 125th Street up there in Harlem, New York, man. When we get it down every Monday with the history class, we go through the scriptures of history, we go through the history so we can understand who we are and who our enemies are. Tonight we on our enemies. And of course everybody knows who they are, the other nations. But we're going to get into the chief protagonist tonight. Before we do that though, I want to say this. Meghan Markle is an idiot. Like, this is the thing, right? Nobody gives a damn about her being sad that she went in an age-old, most racist institution on the face of the earth.
Right.
Into the devil's monarchy. Even though she's a white woman, for real.
Right.
But any speck, anything that reminds them of us being in their most sacred institutions is going to cause them to erupt with hatred. Right. She knew the hornet's nest she was stepping into, man. Nobody give a damn about her tears, man. And this is the thing. This is what's done. She goes up in this age-old racist institution with her mother, her black mother in tow, and her drunk father, and expect for these racist people to engage with her and accept her. Only an idiot would do that, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? People going around thinking racism is over. This is the end of racism. Look, man. This empire has done such a bang-up job with its propaganda. And it's beating up on the spirit of black people, on the history of black people. They've changed our history into something that is disgraceful to us. Like, we have to go into this Bible and we have to ask our elders and look up our true history. Because according to them, we were swinging on trees in Africa somewhere. Ain't nobody ever heard of us until they went over there and them Africans sold us into slavery, man.
Right.
Which is an absolute goddamn lie. You know what I'm saying? But the reputation that it causes when they deal in their propaganda like black people never did anything in America, never built anything in America, never invented anything in America. Everything goes towards white innovation. This is a lie, man. This is ridiculous. We are such an innovative people that after centuries of being uneducated, being put in slavery, being the light being beat out of us, being put in an animalistic state. Less than a decade after slavery, we was building cities and building cars. And we were breaking into the industrial age.
Right.
Further than white people. We were starting to do business overseas. Oh, you didn't even know that.
Right.
Because of course, your enemy is never going to tell you that. Meghan Markle is an idiot. I feel nothing for her crocodile tears.
Right.
She knew she was stepping into that hornet's nest. She stepped into it, and that's what she got. And her husband just is weak, and it's his responsibility to take care of the family, man. He can't even stand up to that old witch. She about 90 years old. Ain't dead yet.
Right.
Yeah.
That's something that trips me out. How these devils live so long. I mean, they getting our organs. I can understand it. You know, how they just forming our organs and our stem cells, taking our melanin. You know, so it's not surprising for real. But, you know, every time I see this idiot on TV, I just laugh at it. It's ridiculous.
Right.
All right. Now we're gonna get into the origins of the wicked, man. The origins of that hornet's nest that Megan fell into. Well, ain't fall into it, walked into it. Thought she was gonna be a princess.
Mm-hmm.
Thought it was enough to have that white father. You know, but the hatred run deeper than that. The hatred run too deep.
Yes, sir.
To have any stitch, any stain. Some people look at it like this is a stain on the monarchy. This is a stain that could last forever. Like they have children. Like in the interview, she was talking about they had a conversation about how dark the children would be. Oprah was surprised. Why the hell wouldn't they? They want to know, is this going to look like a nigga? What is this going to look like when it comes out? What is it going to be? Hello? You know what I'm saying? They don't want that stain on the monarchy. This is a centuries old monarchy. This is the empire. The empire that the sun never sets. What they say? The sun never sets on the British Empire. That's what they say. This is the pinnacle of white power and white supremacy in the earth. They were the first to go to well, not the first, but they were the colonizers. Went all over in Africa, down in there in the Middle East, and took over and started changing history and started painting over the prophets and doing all kinds of wickedness, man. All the wickedness they know, they got all our history up in there, man. Thought she was gonna change things from the inside. She funny. You won't get into the origins of these people, man. Where did the spirit come from? Why do these people hate us so much? Like, this has been centuries, a century span. I mean, goddamn, they had us in slavery, bred us like dogs, beat us and whipped the spirit out of us, raped us, tied us to horses and ripped us apart to terrorize us, hang us, cut our genitals off. You know what I'm saying? I hate to be macabre, but goddamn, that's what happened.
Right.
You know, people always, well, why you gotta talk about that it happened? Am I lying? It happened.
You should never forget.
Right. You should never forget. They never forget their 9/11.
Right.
Why the hell should we forget the horrors and the terrors that happened to us by the hand of these people? It's not being racist. It's being honest. They have a history of it. We're going to dig up and deal with that history. You know? Parental discretion is advised. If you can't handle the truth, change the channel.
Mm-hmm. How about that?
All right, let's get it on, brother. All right, let's get the scripture on that. Let's read it out loud.
That King and Abel?
Yeah. Let's read the scripture out loud. Can't see it.
Don't have a scripture.
Just read whatever it is.
What did it say?
Cain and Abel.
Cain and Abel.
Biblical rivalry.
Biblical rivalry with Cain and Abel. So we going back to the beginning. Well, why are we going to Cain and Abel? Because this is where the spirit of the white man first manifested itself. This is the rivalry. the same rivalry of Jacob and Esau. The white man hasn't been fully formed in the earth yet, but this is the spirit of the white man. This is the first murderer on the earth, the progenitor of the homicide. We're talking about Cain. He is the murderer, the first murderer. So if anybody is good at murdering, if anybody is good, like they have to coin words and phrases for the way this kingdom has murdered and genocided in the earth, man. Barbarism is one of them. But we're going to start with Cain and the story of Cain and Abel and how it really supposed to be written, interpreted in the Bible. Let's move on.
Genesis chapter 4, verse 3. And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord.
All right. Cain brought the fruit of the ground to offer the Lord. This is the problem. The Lord ain't asked for no goddamn fruit of the ground. The Lord wanted a blood offering. The Lord wanted an animal offering of a clean animal. This is what the Lord wanted. It's in his laws. Well, people say, well, how did he know the laws back then? Because the Most High gave Adam the laws, statutes, and his commandments. It's that they were passed down by oral tradition until Moses wrote them down. That's why the foolish Egyptians cannot use, the Bible wasn't the first book. They had stuff written down in Egypt long ago. These were our commandments that we had from oral tradition from the beginning of man's ascension on the earth, man. Adam was not the first physical human being, but he was the first human being that God chose and gave his laws and his statutes and commandments to. Gave him morality.
Right.
That's what he gave him. Everybody else was going around humping everything, eating anything, chilling, well, this was the first murder, but knocking people upside the head, any damn thing, man. They were base of men. They were base, like the dirt. Well, the Lord raised Adam from the dust of the ground, meaning he raised him from a lower state, from a baser man, a goddamn caveman. He taught his sons his laws and his statutes. Cain decided that he wanted to do what the hell he wanted to do. He didn't want to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Read on.
Verse 4. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof.
Keep up with the presentation. Is it 4?
And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
Now, Abel gave the Lord what the Lord wanted. The Lord wanted a blood sacrifice. That's what Abel gave to the Lord. And the Lord had respect unto that because he followed his laws. But Cain wanted to do what Cain wanted to do. He wanted to impress the Lord with what he grew from the ground. That wasn't what the Lord said. That wasn't what he wanted.
Right.
Because you got to look at the attributes and the selfishness and the pride of what came from Cain, of the spirit of the people that came from Cain. And those attributes about Cain are going to become very clear. And you can only attribute them to one particular nation of people. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his
He didn't have respect for Cain doing what the hell he wanted to do. Cain got angry because his selfishness and his pride would not allow himself to be checked. So all he had to do was go back, "Oh, okay, that's not you right. I didn't do what you said to do. Let me go take care of it." That's all he had to do. That's all the Lord wants, is that repentance and to do what the hell he told you to do. If not, repent from it, move on. We can move on. But that's not what Cain wanted. This is the rebelliousness. Read on, brother.
and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell.
Meaning he was angry. Cain was stupid angry. You understand? Just like there's a people on this earth that rules the nations in anger. All right? When they deal with us with anger. When we say stop killing us, they go kill 3 more of us. They go terrorize us even more. They don't back down. Just think of these people as Donald Trumps. Donald Trump is the epitome of a white man. He is the epitome of what a white man is. The truth does not matter.
Right.
The truth doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what he wants. The only reality that he ever cares about is the reality that he wants. Nobody else. So if you see him clearly telling a lie, in his mind, it's not really a lie. People, they don't understand the truth. To them, it's perspectives. Just like they'll say, take the Civil War, for instance. The Civil War, they say that white people gave their lives for black people to be free. White people saved black people from slavery. So the people who put me in slavery are actually my heroes that freed me from slavery. Like when you say it out loud, it sounds completely ridiculous.
Right.
But this is what white America has been selling us. You clearly understand and know that it's a lie, that it can't possibly be true. But they keep saying it and keep pushing it. We know that the North was losing the war, but Lincoln at some point, Frederick Douglass convinced Lincoln to free the slaves in states that had already seceded from the Union. So he freed only those slaves. He didn't free slaves in the North. He freed slaves in the South to remove the engine that was pushing their war machine. If you don't got the Negroes supplying you and making your clothes and digging your trenches and building your barracks and bringing your supplies to the front lines, you ain't got an army, buddy. And then Lincoln went so far as to conscript 50,000 black soldiers and put them in regiments. One was the famous 51st. And that's when the war turned around for the North.
Right.
The Union didn't start winning the war until Negroes got in the war. You understand that? So how the hell can white people save me? I'm just going to negate the 50,000 of my brothers that went out there and gave their life for a dream, of course, that would never happen.
Right.
Because it's not really freedom what they gave us. Nevertheless, they fought for chattel slavery to end. We are talking about the attributes of this people who put us in slavery, the jealousy, the pride. Read on, brother.
Genesis chapter 4, verse 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth?
Why are you wroth? Why are you angry? Why are you angry? Read on.
And why is thy countenance fallen?
Why are you acting angry? Why is your face in that state? Why are you acting like that and looking at me like that? With hatred and disgust. Read on.
Verse 7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted?
Don't forget the presentation. Keep up with it.
I'm still there.
We there? All right. Will thou read that again?
Verse 7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted?
If you do well, if you do what I say, would you not be accepted? Would I not say, good job? Like I said to your brother, there is no need to even be angry. But not with Cain. Cain can't accept the L. Just like Donald Trump couldn't accept the L.
Right.
He couldn't accept losing that election. He was talking about losing that election before it ever happened. He was talking about they going cheat before it ever even happened. Because he knew if there was a possibility that he was going to lose, and if he lose, he's going to say, well, they cheated. It went all the way to the Supreme Court from people that he appointed judges. Not a speck of evidence was found to there was anybody cheating in the election. Do I believe it was people cheating? Yeah, it's America. Was anything found on a scale that could have changed the election? No. Not that we even care about the election, because we don't care who the hell is president. It wouldn't matter to black people at all.
Right.
Black people believe that, but it really wouldn't at all. We'll be in the same position, in the same condition, whether it's Biden or whoever the hell it is in that White House. It wouldn't matter. It's just that black people have such an unrealistic attachment to America, and knowing that Donald Trump was such an embarrassment, even to white people, that black people felt embarrassed. But we don't get the spoils of America. We don't get that. There's no reason to be embarrassed or even care at all about what's happening. He starts a war, good. Good. What the hell do we care? So what? Look, Cain couldn't take that L. He got mad, he stayed mad. Even though the Lord said you will be accepted, all you got to do is what I say do. It ain't hard. It's not a grievous thing. All you got to do is give me the sacrifice I want. Read on.
And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
If you're not doing what I tell you, you're going to fall into sin, murder, degradation, and into a state that you don't want to be in. All you got to do is what I'm telling you to do. Cain couldn't accept that because he couldn't take the L. Just like Donald Trump. Storm the capital of the democracy that you say that you stand for. Smear doo-doo all on the walls for the democracy you say you stand for, and laugh when it happens. That's the spirit of Cain. Read.
And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
You understand that? You don't even have to explain that. You understand? Cain is angry because he cannot, his pride will not allow him to accept that the Lord has respect unto his brother and not respect unto what the hell he's doing now. Read on.
Verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass.
Cain talked with Abel. We up on who we at?
We did.
Yeah. Okay. Read it over.
Genesis chapter 4, verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him.
All right. Cain allowed his emotions and his pride to take him to a place where he murdered his own brother. Murdered his own brother out of pride and out of hatred and unrealistic anger, unrealistic hate. Abel didn't do anything to him. Black people didn't do a damn thing to white people, man. Nothing. I mean, they make up little dumb stuff along the way. Like when they burned down our cities and our towns, they said, black people, so a black man tried to rape a white woman or tried to grab a white woman.
Right.
And just like Donald Trump was saying before the election, ever even started, they gonna cheat. It's ridiculous how they're cheating. They're cheating, they're stealing the election, they stole the election. Long before there ever was an election. Long before black people had any kind of freedom, the white man was putting out propaganda films, like The Birth of a Nation, to say that black men was going to be roaming the countryside raping white women, which never happened. You can't even find one or two instances of this ever happening. But thousands of people had to die because the unrealistic hate of white America. Unrealistic, unwarranted, and just flat out lies. Flat out lies. Nobody did anything to white America. Just like they're saying right now, we gotta make America great again. From what? From whom? From whom? Last time I checked, white folks was rich, own every corporation.
Right.
There's poor white folks because rich white folks want you to be poor. Ain't got a goddamn thing to do with black people. The country is falling down and y'all look pretty well off to me.
Right.
I don't know. My people still in Flint with poison water.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I see y'all crying a little bit about Texas for a couple of days was cold. I mean, that don't seem like nothing compared to what black people have been through in this country. Man, I know people who never even felt carpet on their feet until they was an adult. That grew up in Flag Projects, Latrobe Projects, Cherry Hill Projects, Lexington Market Projects. They got cold, hard cement floors that feel like steel. That's oppression. But white people act like they're being oppressed. And America is somehow, who do you need to save America from? Negroes? Is that it? Because that's where it's going ultimately. That's where you're going. Just tell the truth. This is why I don't understand the Negroes for Trump. They're talking about you. America is being screwed up because they think that the country is becoming more acceptable to black people. That's the real deal. Come on, man.
Verse 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother?
Where's thy brother? Go ahead.
And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
What a disgusting, filthy life. Now you understand how they can murder in cold blood, murder on video. How they can walk up in a man's house while he eating ice cream in his own house and murder him. How a brother can have a cell phone or a toy in his hand and be murdered. Now you understand how a black woman can be taken into custody and end up murdered. Because they don't even believe that murder is a murder. Like they believe they justified in the murder because of the way they feel. See how Cain immediately lied. I don't know. Am I his keeper? That's sarcasm. Am I my brother's keeper?
Right.
After you just cold-bloodedly murdered your brother with a straight face, you can sit there and say, it's not, I don't know where he's at. Just like a white man can, the white man that shot Jordan Davis said that his friends had shotguns in the car. And he heard them say, they gonna kill you now. There was three friends in the truck. They was playing music loud. The white man got mad, had a little conversation, a little argument with the kids, then pulled out his gun and shot 15, 16 times in the damn car, left the scene of the crime, and then days, weeks later said, oh, well, I was afraid because I thought they were gangbangers because I heard one of them say, we're going to kill you. And I said, no. And I started shooting. They found no guns in the car with these kids. The kids didn't have any guns, man. But he came up with an elaborate story for the jury about he had to shoot these kids. The same way the policeman did when they beat the piss out of Rodney King on camera. He was aggressive to them. Stop resisting. This is not something that's unusual for this people, if you understand their character. This is Cain talking to the Most High after he brutally, unprovoked, and wrongly murdered his brother for no reason. Read on.
Verse 10, and he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground.
Imagine how many brothers are crying to the Lord from the ground, man. Imagine that. Can you imagine? We go through the whole history of Night. Just them coming to get us in slavery, they left a blood streak from the west coast of Africa all the way to the Caribbean.
Right.
So strong that the sharks today still follow that migration pattern that those slave ships used to take. It's so much blood, man. So much suffering. And you know what they say? That was a long time ago. Now you understand. Now you get it.
Right.
This is what they are. Read on, brother.
Verse 11, and now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand.
Look, now that you so callously murdered your brother in such a heinous way, he turned his back, I'm gonna bust him upside his head with a rock and beat him till his brains spill out. Such a heinous and cowardly way, man. And then deny it ever happened. Because you're such a coward, the ground will no longer yield for you. which is why he has to use so much hormones and so many what you call them, GMOs, in order to grow food. He has to genetically modify seeds. That's why you have watermelon and grapes without seeds, because he has to constantly manipulate these things on almost a molecular level to get it to grow. When we were running the farms, we didn't have a problem. We didn't stuff the animals with all kinds of hormones and you know, the food kills you. Like these people grow food that will eventually kill you. Well, who does that? What kind of people, and feeds that to their population? Knowing that they're modifying the food and cloning the animals in such a way that it's destructive to the human body. The ground won't till for them, man. Read on.
Verse 12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth.
Read that again.
Genesis chapter 4, verse 12.
Just that last part.
A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth.
A fugitive and a vagabond, meaning is they don't have a particular land that's theirs. They didn't come from Europe. They didn't spring and evolve in Europe. They didn't. There was a people there before them.
Right.
They came in the land, they made war with the people, and they genocided them, and they murdered them so heinously that the people fled the land. And that's pretty much wherever they go. They take the land, refine and use all the resources, and then spread out to other lands. Conquer, murder, genocide, take the resources, and continue the same game over and over again. They went to Australia. The Australians were there. The Australians had a land where they would till the land. They were able to feed themselves and make trade with other nations of people. Well, this nation, who let's just say Europeans, they went to Australia. There's a little island off of the coast of Australia called Tasmania. There was a short, stocky, dark-skinned, woolly-haired people called Tasmanians that used to live there. I said used to because they don't exist anymore. The Europeans made them extinct. They made them extinct by brutal murder and enslavement. The last Tasmanian was a woman. She died at the turn of the century, I believe. Excuse me, the last century. And they made a cartoon out of her. You know the devil that's on the Looney Tunes cartoon, the Tasmanian devil that spins, blah, blah, blah. That's how their language sounded to so-called Europeans. So they made a cartoon out of the last Tasmanian after they murdered and made her whole people extinct.
Right.
That's the kind of people that they are. That spirit comes with Cain. They are a vagabond, meaning they don't have a land of their own. They take everybody else's. They murder everybody else and they call it civilizing. They came to the Americas. They called the North American Indians savages. And based on that premise, they murdered and genocided them. Took their land and resources and utilized it. And they said they've done better for America. They've civilized America. They've done wonders for the world and created wonders for the world. These are the lies that are perspectives, and this is the only thing that he can see. Something good coming out of his murder. Something good never comes out of something evil. You never get something righteous from murder and genocide.
Right.
Never. But y'all keep believing in the system in America. What you want me to do? I'm just teaching a little bit. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 4, verse 13. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear.
Woo! My punishment is greater than I can bear. What was that cop name that shot, came in the cat house? John Beckham, was it?
Botham John.
Beckham John, and murdered him. What was her name? I forget her name. What was that white short police officer name that murdered Beckham John?
Hold up.
Never really apologized. You know what she said? I made a mistake and came in his house and he didn't follow my directions. Right. So I feared for my life and I shot him. Now when you say it out loud, it sounds absolutely crazy. But this is how these people think. As if that could be a defense. Or you get Geiger. Amber Geiger. The Amber Geiger effect. Let's call it the Amber Geiger effect. That you can do something so heinous, but in your mind, if they wouldn't have did that, it wouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? If Abel wouldn't have been so pure and generous with what he did for God, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have had to be jealous and murder him. Like this is the countenance of this people, man. Come on, man, read them, bro.
Verse 14. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth.
What else I wanted to say? I didn't get to the point. Amber Geiger, went back and filed an appeal. Like she only got 10 years for murdering this man in cold blood, walked into his house. Like a black man cannot sit legally in their own house that they paid for without some white policeman walking up, marching in there and murdering them and then saying it's his fault. Like everything is our fault. Everything. They put us in poverty, perpetuate violence, and then hate us for being in a perpetual state of poverty and violence. That's what these people are. And then when it comes to them accepting what they've done, they will never accept their punishment. That's why Amber Geiger is appealing that 10 years. I mean, she only have to do like 3 more until she gets parole. She don't feel enough guilt to do her damn time, man. What a disgraceful people. But that's how they think. That what you gave me, which is just, it was absolutely just for the murder that he just committed. Matter of fact, it was overly fair. You got to get up out of here. It was overly fair. But I can't take that. I can't accept that.
Right.
That punishment I can't accept.
Should have got 30.
Damn right. She should have got the death penalty
Right. You're
for
right.
what she did to that brother, man.
Right.
To take his peace in that way. Can you imagine if it was the other way around? If a black man had went up in a white woman's house and murdered her in her own home
Right.
and then lied about him, they found that the trajectory of the bullet was down. Meaning he couldn't have been a threat to her. That was cold-blooded murder. And she can't accept the little smack on the wrist that she got. She even got a hand rub and a hug and a Bible verse written to her by simple black people. Come on, read on.
Verse 14. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth.
Wow, you driven me out. You hurt me. It's too much. I can't handle it. No. Like they can't believe that they're going to have to pay for all the barbarism that they've done. They feel that it's unfair that people even talk about what their ancestors have done. That they feel like that's unfair to them. They feel that it's unfair that they talk about what they have done. Like they don't want you to go back to the past. Like how far is it you can't go back? Can I go back to when you burned down the cities? Can I go back to when you put us in death camps? Can I go back to when you were lynching and hanging us? Can I go back to when you did medical experiments on us and watched us die and suffer? Can I go back to when you put us in projects and put the dope in there and the violence in there? Can I go back to that? Like, how far is it that I cannot go back? What part that is it that I can't forget? Like, white people think that it's racist for us to talk about the evil that they've done to us. That's how they feel that they're being persecuted.
Right.
We're persecuting them by saying, you murdered us. Is it a lie? No. But you keep talking about it. Come on, brother, read on.
And from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth.
A fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. That's what it is. That's what it is. That light that you look up to, that you think civilized the world, that you think is this, that, and the third, is a vagabond, a homeless person. Let's move on. What time is it? 10. All right, let's move on.
And it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me.
We can't accept the punishment that the Lord laid down. So he's not talking about how he's sorry that he murdered his brother and how he can make repentance for murdering his brother. All he's talking about is, I can't handle the punishment that you gave me. Can you have mercy on me? You know, it's real interesting how, especially white America, always wants mercy upon them, but have no mercy for nobody else. None. You understand? When black people were addicts running around in the ghetto, lock them up. Lock all of them up. They criminals. When white folks got on so-called opiates, you have to understand they're human beings too. We have to have programs for them to get their lives together. We have to have funding. Oh, brother, we are in an evil case. This is a vile people, brother. Let's move on.
Verse 15. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold.
It ain't that the Lord loved him. It's that the Lord had to do what he had to do for the outcome he needed. Look, this is very simple. For all the murder and the mayhem and the destruction that white America has done to us, we are not to pick up arms towards that people. Not to abhor them, which means not to take revenge on them, not to physically go assault them. That's what the Lord is saying. That if you do that, you are going to be punished sevenfold. This is a people that have been allowed to express their evil in this earth and have dominant and uncontrolled access to murder, rape, and mayhem, and have been able to go about it absent any kind of retribution or any kind of justice for it. Why? Because the Lord wants to do that, to show his power in the earth. He's going to show his power in the earth by destroying the most evil power in the earth. When the time comes.
That's right.
This is why these people never have to pay for what they've done. They never pay for it. And you just say, that's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. How Donald Trump can be indicted, impeached, this, that, and the third, but never have to pay
Right.
for his actions. Never. Read on.
And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him.
Set a mark upon him. What's that thing that differentiates this people from every other people? His blood show forth through his skin. You can't always look at the race, but it's pretty clear who these people are, because it says a mark placed upon them. Read on.
Verse 16.
Where we at? We up on
Yeah, we up.
Go
Verse 16. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden.
Mm-hmm. You can go ahead on to the presentation. Say go.
Jacob and Esau.
I can't pull it up. All right, so we're gonna get to the first fully formed white man. This is Cain's spirit back in the earth. Like the virus that's going to infect Esau. This is the same brothers coming back in the earth. It's the same situation, the same brotherly rivalry. Whenever you see this in their movies, this brother and this brother, they're getting it from our records. The Bible is black history, and our records are complete. And this is where these people came from, and this is the splitting of the nations. Are they our brothers today? No. No, absolutely not. This is how they were made and what they came out of. You understand? Everybody that's alive on the earth today comes out of Adam. Because all the people that were alive before Adam was killed in the flood. Except for Noah's family. So out of Noah's family come everybody on the earth. But the Lord divided the nations. So we're not brothers. We're going to get into the first white man on the earth. And I know there's people out there that say that Esau is not the so-called white man. That is a lie. That is a lie. Esau is the white man. It's not about racism. It is about actual practical knowledge. It is about real life experiences. It is about practicality. It's about wisdom, man. This is in fact Esau. And we're going to talk about the relationship between these brothers so that you can understand the relationship between black and white America today. It is the same relationship that Jacob and Esau had in the past. All right, let's get into it, brother. You're running behind.
Jacob and Esau, Genesis 25 and verse 20, Genesis chapter 25, verse 22. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
All right, so Rebecca is having these children that are basically a little more than embryos throwing down in her stomach. Roughing up is messing up her hormones because they're going at it already. And she's saying that this is such a blessing because remember, she's up in age now. So she's saying if this is such a blessing that this has happened, why am I feeling this way? Read on, brother Natazal. Brother Natazal, do me a favor, please. Refresh me, brother. Some D in here and click in there and send it free. The water, brother. All right.
And she went to inquire of the Lord.
So she went to inquire of the Lord. She had to ask the Lord, you know, why is this thus? Why is this happening to me? Now, how does a woman go inquire of the Lord? Do she just go in the corner and go up and pray? No. You know, brother. You go ahead, brother.
She finds a man of the Lord to inquire of the Lord.
She finds what is called a seer, a man of the Lord. They called the seer back in times of old. We can get that precept if y'all need it. You know, if you got questions or anything, just type them in to the the text, and the brother let me know. I'll answer your questions. All right, read on, brother.
Verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
2 nations are in thy womb. Not one nation, not one race. But she's saying 2 nations are in thy womb. Go ahead, brother.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
2 manner of people, meaning there are 2 different people in your womb. Like we can get some, I don't have time to go into the precept, but you can get it if you want. Where the Lord talks about he made a people of honor and he made a people of dishonor. You have to understand what he's saying. He made a people of honor and a people of dishonor. Not because of the deeds that they've done, but because of who they are. He chose a people that he made one of honor and one of dishonor. Because that's what the Lord did. And these are people of dishonor. Esau's people. We gonna get that precept, but later on. Go ahead, brother.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
We already know who's the stronger people. We know who dominates in sports, who's the heavyweight, champion this, who's the fastest runner that. We already know that blacks are stronger in a lot of different areas, all right? Read on.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
The elder shall serve the younger, meaning that the elder, the one that came out first, well, he's going to serve the younger brother. All right? The first one that came out was Esau. We're going to get into that. Go ahead.
Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
There were twins in her womb, meaning there were twin brothers. These were fraternal twins, not twins that were exactly alike. You understand? But you had one that was deformed in a lot of ways, and it's described. His deformities are described. You don't describe a baby unless it's somehow different. You don't describe his skin and his hair unless it's different. Read on, brother.
Verse 25. And the first came out red, all over like an hairy garment.
Came out red, man. Everybody on the earth has color. Don't they talk about people of color? Ain't that what they say? Not the czar? They say people of color. We are people of color. Well, this people, color was red all over. Their blood was showing forth through their skin. So this was something different. This wasn't the same as Jacob, man. This was something so different that it had to be described. Why is this baby red? Read.
And they called his name Esau. Verse 26.
They called his name Esau, so that's the first to come out. So remember, the younger shall be stronger than the elder. Remember, that's more proof that these people are Esau. Read on.
Verse 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel.
That's important. After that, his brother came out. His hand took hold on Esau's heel. He's coming out right after him. And after Esau's kingdom comes Jacob's dominion. Read on.
And his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
Right. Right. So the second one that came out was Jacob. And these are two different nations, two different manner of people. Their mannerisms are completely different. Esau is a liar. Esau has the spirit of Cain. He's already what? A murderer from the womb. Ain't that what Christ said?
Yeah.
Christ said he was a murderer from the womb. And why is that? Let's get a precept real quick. Leave that right there and let's get Romans 9 and 21. Let's talk about the power real quick. Let's go through that real quick. Romans 9 and 21.
Romans chapter 9, verse 21. Hath not the potter power over the clay?
Does God have the power to make people the hell way he want? Huh? Don't he have that power without you putting your sentiments in with God about who's right, who's wrong, who's evil, and who's not? The Lord has power over the clay. The Lord put it in the Bible who he made that has honor and who he made that has dishonor. Read on.
Of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor.
Wait a minute, he said of the same lump. So the potter has a lump of clay. Of that same lump, cut it in two, and that same lump, he has one of honor. Read on.
And another unto dishonor.
And another unto dishonor. You understand that? It's the Lord's choice. Before they were born, before they came out, before they knew any goddamn thing, the Lord made one of honor and one of dishonor. Read it from the top.
Romans chapter 9 verse 21. Hath not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor?
Read.
Verse 22. What if God, willing to shew his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction?
That's what we talking about right here, man. Long time. Remember, the Lord made it so if you touched Cain, you will be destroyed 7 times over. This was a plan long lasting and in effect a long time ago, man. The Lord made these vessels the way he made them. When he's talking about the same lump of clay, he's talking about these twins, one of honor and one of dishonor. He's talking about Esau being that lump of clay of dishonor from the womb, not having done anything. Read on.
Verse 23. And that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory.
Night. The Most High has already prepared us unto glory, man. We understand about the evil we've been poured into. But the reason why we being punished so grievously the way we are, because he's already prepared us unto glory, man. And he's talking about a particular people. This nation. This nation, man. Read on.
Verse 24. Even us, whom he hath called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles.
Us, who he called not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles. You know, back then in his days, they called us Hellenist Jews. Hellenist Jews were Greeks that were actually black people. So a lot of our people have been taken off into slavery in Egypt and in Assyria and in all kinds of places, man. Christ was to bring those people back into fold. When he's saying not only of the Jews, but of the Gentiles also. These are the people that went, these are the Jews, not only the Jews, but Israel, that had went into slavery, chiefly the northern kingdom, that had went into slavery, that's coming back into Israel, into the fold. So you have the Jews and you have Israel. The Lord had split up the kingdom. He had split the Jews, which are Judah, Benjamin, and some of Levi, and the other 12 tribes from the northern kingdom had been split, and the northern kingdom had been into slavery for 400 years before Christ came back. All these people were able to come back and be adopted back into the fold. These were the people they called Gentiles, man. I ain't gonna get too much into that. Let's get back to the presentation, please, brother. All right, where we at?
27.
Genesis 27.
7. Genesis chapter 26, verse 27. 25, verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter.
Esau was a cunning hunter. They grew. Are these people not a cunning hunter? I think the last time I read about was a white doctor who went to Africa to hunt a giraffe, a rare black giraffe. Giraffes get darker the older that they get. I've actually Googled this. I looked this up, so you know what I'm saying? The older that they get darker. All right? They call them a black giraffe, which is a bull giraffe. So they're very rare because, of course, they are, you know, hunted and scavenged and killed because, you know, white folks, Chinese folks pay for them to be killed. So this doctor's wife went over there, I think for $70-some thousand. She paid to hunt this bull giraffe. She killed it, cut the heart out, held the heart up as a trophy. She used a .50 caliber rifle to blow its head off. Was sporting about that.
Right.
She used a .50 cal and blew its head off for Valentine's Day present. Left the herd without a bull to keep the herd having kids and moving. You know, probably wasted all the meat. But they are a cunning hunter. They not only hunt animals, strategically, they hunt us.
Right.
They figure out ways to murder us without them having to pay the consequences. That's why when you see videos, you'll see police officers saying, "Stop resisting, stop resisting," even though you're not resisting, you're in handcuffs. You're not doing anything. They're kicking you and stomping you on the ground. The reason why they're saying stop resisting, that's for the judge that's looking at the tape. And they're saying, in some way, they must be resisting. I can't see it on the camera, but they have to be resisting in some way. Why? Because they're saying, stop resisting. That's a cunning hunter. A cunning hunter is one that you never see him coming. He wants you to say something smart. He wants you to move towards him in an aggressive way so that he can murder you. He wants you to not understand the law and understand that you can go to court and deal with this issue. You don't even have to talk to that policeman. He wants you to talk to him. He wants you to get smart with him so that people will say, if only he had obeyed the police, he wouldn't be dead. This is the cunning hunter. All right, read on, brother.
A man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
The man of the field. Jacob was a plain man. Jacob, he wasn't about going out in that jungle. He wasn't about murdering nobody for real. Right. Jake don't want to be out there killing nobody for real. Jake like money. You know, Jake like to be a little flashy. Jake like to go to hip-hop clubs and all that crap. Jake don't want to be out there murdering and scuffling and dealing with nobody grievously, man. For real, when you get down deep with it, that's not what Jake want to do. Shit. Violence don't begot money. Murder don't begot happiness. That's not what Jake trying to do. Jake only do those type of things to defend himself and what he believes is his family. Because of misinformation. But this hunter, he does it because he's hunting. He wants us to make a sudden move. If he sees something that looks anywhere near a gun, you made a sudden move, that's a righteous killing. That's what they call it in the courts, a righteous killing. Don't matter it was a cell phone. It only matters that in that small span of time, that officer felt threatened. That's enough to take your life and it not be a crime. He's a great hunter. Brother.
Verse 28. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison. But Rebekah loved Jacob.
Read.
Genesis chapter 25, verse 29. And Jacob sawed pottage.
Look, she did love Jake because she understood that Jake was the one that was supposed to get the blessing. She knew that she couldn't leave the blessing of her people to this animal. She knew that it came from between her legs, that it was undoubtedly hers, but it was not of her nation. That this was a different nation and a different manner of people. Because Rebekah took the counsel that she was given from the Most High, that came from a man of God. Understand this well. Isaac did not. He loved this person who was not of his nation, who was not of his people, because he cooked and he hunted. That's a mistake. But thankfully, this sister held true. And we should thank her to this day that we got that blessing. Where we at, 10 minutes?
20.
20 minutes? All right, read on.
And Esau came from the field, and he was faint. Verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage.
Yeah, feed me with that same raw meat. Feed me that same red pottage. You know why? Because he has to satiate his flesh. He can't be hungry for a minute. He has to satiate his flesh. He's a baser man. And he's about dealing with his emotions and the way that he feels. So when he came off of that field, he ain't find nothing. I don't give a damn what I got to say. I don't care. Feed me that raw meat so I can eat it. That's why they'll be out in the field and they'll pull the liver or the heart out of an animal they just killed and take a bite.
Right.
Like they're taking the spirit of that animal. That's not what the Lord said to do. The Lord said not to eat of the blood, that the blood is of life. He said not to eat of the blood. But what does Esau do? What does these people do? They crack the animal open and take as big a bite as they can off the heart and off the liver. in thanks to their God, Satan. They do the will of Satan. Read on.
For I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
Yeah, I'm faint. I'm faint. I must satiate my flesh. I gotta look. If you hungry and it means selling your birthright, I'm gonna be hungry for a few more minutes. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be hungry till I can find me something to eat for a few more minutes. I ain't gonna sell no birthright just to satiate myself for that second in time. I'm gonna hold fast to what the Lord want me to hold fast to. Read on, brother.
Verse 31. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright.
You know what it is. You know what it is. People saying Jake was wrong for doing that. No, Jake wasn't wrong. Because Rebekah knew who that prophecy was for. And Jake had to go get that prophecy. Because if Esau would have had it, he would have been able to destroy the earth on a timeless timeline. Because he can never see or evaluate that he's doing anything wrong, it would have went on forever, the murder and the mayhem. All the way till he destroyed the entire earth with pollution because of his greed. He could never see that he was doing any goddamn thing wrong. Even though the earth is warming up and Florida then warmed up goddamn 4 to 5 degrees. A cool down 4 to 5 degrees where it's a winter spurt in Texas, which is close to the equator, that shut down all the transformers, freezing over. They never thought that would happen. Even then, these people can't see anything that they have done wrong. They can't see it. Read on, brother.
Verse 32. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me?
Don't mean nothing to me. I'm about to die. You can have that birthright. He gave that birthright to his brother. His brother didn't steal anything. His brother knew that the Lord wanted and needed him to have it. Because the entire the earth depended on it. The water. You understand? The water, Jake. God damn.
Right.
Can you imagine a continuous white supremacy culture and society in the earth? Good night. The earth would die. We got whole seas full of jellyfish. Photosynthesis can't take place because the algae is growing out of control because of all of the fertilizer that's going into the sea. But the oppressor can't see anything he's doing wrong.
Right.
Can't see it. Can't understand it. It doesn't initialize in his brain, Madame.
Can't comprehend it.
Can't comprehend it. The water. There's no comprehension of the evil that he's doing.
Right.
How can you relate or talk or negotiate with a people like that, Madame?
Yeah.
Not the Czar. Come on.
Yeah, right.
You got any words on that? It's insane.
It is.
It's insane, man. Come on, read on where we at.
Verse 33. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he sware unto him. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
He sold his birthright because he didn't give a damn about it, man. That's pretty much. And because he sold his birthright, and later on, he realized the mistake that he made, you know what he going to want to do? The same thing Cain wanted to do. Guess.
Kill.
He wants to kill. He wants to murder his brother. Because of the actions that he made, he wants to murder his brother. That's why white folks keep saying they ain't Esau. But yet, their attributes give them away. You are, in fact, Esau.
Right.
It's very clear to see. But, you know, you got your Christian pastors, so, you know, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? We might gotta skip a little bit of that. Where we at?
Genesis 27, chapter 27, verse 1.
Let's skip that. Where we at on that? What's that?
Genesis 27, chapter 27, verse 11 to 33,
Let's move on from there.
34 to 41.
Move on.
The murderous horde of Esau.
Read that.
The murderous horde of Esau.
That's it.
Oh, was that the end of the?
That's it.
Oh, Salagia. Go back one.
Genesis chapter 27, verse 34. Salakia.
Yeah, the hairy man. Go ahead.
And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry.
Oh, go back right before that. We gonna get this. This is his blessings that he gonna get the blessings. He's mad because his brother actually got the blessings from his father. All right, but he's going to get one blessing. But go back right before that and read.
Let's see.
33.
Come, just read from there.
Genesis chapter 27, verse 33. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, where is he that hath taken venison?
Hey, look, this what it is. So Jake had put goat's hair on his arm and all of that to make himself appear as Esau. So his father would feel him and think that it was Esau. And Rebecca had prepared some venison, some stew that was from a goat, so that he would think it was spicy venison, you know what I'm saying, so that he would give the blessing to who he thought was Esau. But he actually gave the blessing to Jacob. But when Esau came and seen that he had already gave the blessing to Jacob, he broke down and cried. And remember, he never even wanted the blessing. He gave the blessing to his brother for some raw meat. How profane is that? And even the Lord said that. We got a precept for that. Read on, brother.
And brought it to me, and I have eaten of it all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed.
Look, he's talking about his son Jacob. Isaac blessed Jacob with the blessing that he thought he was giving Esau. You understand? But he gave it to Jacob, who the Lord said it belonged to. It did not belong to Esau, because Esau is a monster. But Isaac could not see that because he liked what he cooks. That blinded him. Read on.
Verse 34. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry.
Wah! Ah! How could you do that to me? Look, the Lord said that it belonged to Jake. Jake got it. But because he whined, and of course, these people cannot ever take a L. Ever. Just like Donald Trump. No, they cheated. Even though there's no evidence of cheating, I can't take a L. So something gotta be wrong with the election. No, you're lying. You're a liar. Read on.
And said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father.
Bless me, even me. That's whining and that's crying. That's not a man. That's not a man. That's something twisted and ugly and defiled. That's not a man. Read on.
Verse 35. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing.
Thy brother came with subtlety. So he believes that his brother came with something that was unlawful or wrong. He did not. He did not. The Lord gave that to Jacob. Esau could not accept it because of his pride. Read on.
Verse 36, and he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? Verse 37, and Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him.
Good night. Read on.
And what shall I do now unto thee, my son?
Good night.
Verse 38, and Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father.
Good night.
And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
Right? He's weeping, he's asking, he's begging. Read.
Verse 39, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the
Thy
earth.
dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. Even though you haven't worked for it, you haven't done anything righteous for it, you're going to dwell in the fatness of the earth because you're a murderer and a killer. You're going to get it by nefarious means because that's who you are. Read.
And of the dew of heaven from above.
Dew of the heaven. Remember, if you touch him, 7 years of destruction. Read.
Verse 40, and by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother.
By the sword shalt thou live. That's how you live in Australia. That's how you lived in South America. That's how you lived in China, in Japan, and in Europe, and in America. It's always about the sword. It's always about you murdering what you want to murder. That's what it's always about. Read.
And shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
What this is talking about, man. So break the yoke of white supremacy off of the necks of the people who were chosen. That's the whole point. Read.
Verse 40, 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
Good night. He's mad because why? Because Jake did what the Lord said to do. Esau didn't. Jake gave him a blood sacrifice. Jake, excuse me. Excuse me, I went back to Cain and Abel. All right. Salaki on that. Jake did what the Lord wanted him to do because the Lord wanted him to have the blessing. And he did exactly what the Lord wanted him to do. He got the blessing. This was something that was never meant for Esau, because Esau was treacherous and murderous. Go ahead, brother.
And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
I will kill and I will murder my brother Jacob, because this is what I do. This is how I live. I am a vagabond in the earth. I go from continent to continent. I go to and fro, in and out of the earth, murdering everybody and everything. I use all the resources to destroy everyone. With that, I'm going to turn the class over to Priest and Officer Matham Shakaria to shut it down. Give it a clap, y'all.
Boy, great class. Excellent class. Excellent class. Security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves with the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from their head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from their head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3, 8 to 10. It's pronounced, it means tenth in the Hebrew, and it's pronounced ma'asher. A tenth of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, a free will offering for the priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give, up and coming Holy Convocation. We have the Passover coming up. It's April the 24th for the Passover. It's being held in Houston, Texas, at the BH Ranch in Houston, Texas. Pay your tithes. Make sure you pay your Passover fee. You know, get there. It's going to be a heck of a time. You understand? Up and coming Holy Convocations. Remind Akim and Aquatium to check on social media, such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and material. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel, a Majim Shabbat, a Majim, Barak, Yahweh Shinah Shabbat,
Yahweh Shinah Shabbat.
God's good time. Class dismissed.
ISUPK.